You are currently listening to a holiday best of the Dr. Dahlia Show. Please stay tuned, have a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, and a fantastic New Year.
You are about to listen to the Dr. Dahlia Show. Sassy, stimulating medical talk radio. Any medical advice Dr. Dahlia Wax gives on her show should not be substituted for an actual visit to your medical provider. And now, here's Dr. Dahlia.
We are back on the Dr. Dahlia Show. Thank you all for tuning in. 1-877-Doc-Dolly. So this time of year, I always hear, my family's so dysfunctional. My family is so dysfunctional. I don't want to see them on the holidays. There's a lot of stress that people have when they have to see their family. And the average person feels that their family is dysfunctional. Some of them are right. Some of them are, I think, exaggerating a bit. But a dysfunctional family is not an easy family to have. And we need to spend a little time talking about how to make that family more functional. Because most of our success in life is having a strong family, strong connection, strong communication. And when you have a dysfunctional family, you don't have that. I love my family, but when I find that I'm closer to my friends than my family, and a lot of you will say the same thing, it's time to kind of check back and see what's going wrong. So what makes a family dysfunctional? Well, the whole slew of things. It could be something that happened in the past. It could be a wrong that was done. It could be there's somebody who currently ass grabs, right? The women's butts, okay? Somebody's abusive. Somebody has severe mental health challenges, severe addictions, steals from others, takes advantage, talks bad about them. A big part of dysfunctional family is where people are talking crap about each other in the family. And so there's alliances forming. They make things bigger than they need to be, like politics. So they're looking for ways to divide and to avoid abuse. There's a whole variety of things that can make a family dysfunctional. And then subtle things that make a family dysfunctional is the inability to communicate. You know, I'll watch these movies where two people will sit down, have a good conversation, have it out, and get through. You know, in fact, it's very interesting. Before my father died, he and his sister had a really good conversation. And it was the first time I ever saw my dad do this with somebody. He ends up dying a few weeks later, so maybe that was God's way of making sure he made peace with everybody. But I was like, you know, I wish we all could do this in the family, or I wish all families could do this. But a lack of communication, a lack of trust, toxic behavior causes dysfunctionality. And so the advice psychologists give, doctors give, family members give, stay away from them. You don't need that toxicity. If they're hurting you, stay away. Well, now, rather than absence of making the heart grow fonder, absence can dig a deeper rift. And then all of a sudden, you have to be in the same room with them for the holidays. What happens then? I think seeking support, you know, is also an important thing. And I'm not saying, you know, with the previous one, if somebody's toxic and hurting you, you got to stay away. You know, your mental health is important, but that doesn't solve the dysfunctionality of the family. That's why I recommend seeking support, get a counselor involved. They could sometimes help. Trying to get the whole family to go to therapy, no. And oftentimes it's not the whole family. It's only one or two people that really know how to mess with everybody. And things are going well, and then they just want to mess it all up. So sometimes a counselor could help with that. And try and communicate. You know, bring communication back, but set boundaries. And say, look, we're not going to fight this Christmas or this Hanukkah. It's not going to be about that. We're not going to be bringing up the past. We're not going to be bringing up this and this and this. We're not going to badmouth anybody. These are the rules. Now let's enjoy the day. Well, I don't do that. I don't do that. I'm not saying it's you. This is rules for everybody. This way we can all relax. Nobody bring up the past. Well, I want to bring up the memory of so-and-so. We could do that, okay? So let's set our boundaries now. What do you guys want for the boundaries? All right? This is democratic. We'll all vote. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But what I notice works when you have dysfunctional families is, one, is you need to kind of see what everybody's perspective is. When somebody thinks that they are being beat up on, or that they are being, where family members are choosing sides and they feel like they're odd man out, that's kind of important to know. That might not be the case, or it might be the case. You know, when people feel like they can't bring something up, when they feel like somebody is going to use something against them. You know, if you have a family member that suffers with mental illness or severe bipolar, there's good days and bad days. So on good days, you trust them. You want to tell them everything. On bad days, they use that against you. They might call your job. They might call your spouse. They might call your school and mess with you. And so you need to be really, really careful when you feel like, well, I'm going to show I'm making my, contribution. So I'm going to share. I'm going to, you have to also mentally, because you don't want to get hurt, know your boundaries. But maybe share something that they can't use against you. You know, you have a toxic family member, you aren't going to be able to fix that. But you could fix the functionality of the family. Now, sometimes that person is toxic because they have nothing to do. They don't have a role in the family anymore. So they don't want the family to exist. Maybe give them a role. They might have something that they could do that's safe, that won't hurt others, and let them be in that role, as long as you don't think they're going to be overwhelmed. Let them be the one to come up with the family tree, or come up with family photos, or come up with good family memories, or, give them, or recipes, make a recipe book. But sometimes you could give somebody certain roles in the family. And another thing I suggest is talk to other family members that are like-minded like you. The worst part about a dysfunctional family is the whole family falls apart. You might be able to still salvage certain relationships with some of the other family members who are sane. 1-877-Doc-Dolly. Don't go away.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by right now to answer your questions for free. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-710-5100. I'm here with spokesman John Wolf. So, John, tell our listeners who should call right now.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me join you to answer the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now and find out how much your case is potentially worth. Call 800-710-5100.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. If you think you deserve compensation, call now to find out how much you qualify for. 800-710-5100.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator.
Stiction, that sticky friction, undermines the performance of diesel engines. Third-party ASTM testing verifies that Stiction Eliminator removes 2 times as much stiction than any alternative on the retail shelf. Stiction Eliminator is formulated to be left in the engine oil. It works as you drive.
Available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
In a study, it was found that 33% of 44 herbal supplements had no trace of the advertised herb. Don't let that happen to you. Hi, this is Dr. Mitch. If you want to ensure quality, please go to TotalWellness.com. Supplements made for physicians only now available to you too. TotalWellness.com. helping you to look good, feel good, and enjoy total wellness.
Crime across the country is at an all-time high. It feels like even a family road trip is taking a risk. We don't want the feeling of being unprotected and vulnerable. We found GetCCL.com. GetCCL.com gave us the help we needed to apply for a legal concealed carry permit that's recognized in over half of the country. GetCCL.com simplifies the process to apply, and it's all online. We used their free qualification process to answer a few questions and applied for our permit right from home. Thanks to reciprocity laws between states, when you're issued a New Hampshire concealed carry permit, you can legally carry in any state that recognizes your New Hampshire permit. It only takes minutes to apply, so don't wait. Exercise your rights today. Ensure you're protecting your family at home and in other states. Have peace of mind. Apply today. Go to GetCCL.com. That's GetCCL.com. Go to GetCCL.com. Exercise your rights today. Go to GetCCL.com.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Lisa Wolf here to tell you about our newest website for old-time radio lovers. It's 100radioshows.com. At this site, there are 5 old-time radio shows waiting for you to download free as our gift to you. And be sure to browse the additional 700 old-time radio shows available to you for 70% off by using the promo code RADIO at checkout. This is a limited-time offer, so log on to 100radioshows.com. That's 100radioshows.com.
Did you know that more than half our household energy costs go to heating and cooling? Energy efficiency isn't just good for the environment. It means lower utility bills, too. One way to reduce your energy waste is a home energy assessment. Your utility company can help, or you can learn how to do it yourself at EnergySavers.gov. That's EnergySavers.gov. You'll learn to look for air leaks around windows and doors, check ducts for holes, and improve your insulation. Another time to cut energy costs is when you shop for a new appliance. Look for the Energy Star logo and read the Energy Guide label. And there are day-to-day things you can do. Lower your thermostat in winter and raise it in the summer. Close fireplace dampers when they're not in use. And keep air filters clean. For more tips on saving money by reducing your energy waste, check out ftc.gov/green. A tip from the Federal Trade Commission, the nation's consumer protection agency.
Back on the Dr. Dahlia Show. Thank you all for tuning in. 1-877 Dr. 1-877-DOC-DALI. Big thanks to Talk Media Network for making the show happen. Big thanks to Daniel, our producer, and big thanks to y'all for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Dr. Dahlia, Facebook, The Dr. Dahlia Show, and on YouTube. Click like and subscribe. So, this is long overdue, and I am really excited about this, but RFK Jr. is trying to, speed up and refocus a lot of our attention to why we have so many food allergies and what is going on with our kids. And growing up, we had Skippy peanut butter, peanut butter. We had Goober grape, where it was a mix of peanut butter and jelly. And I remember my mom was like, well, this is easier, but it didn't taste as good. I mean, it didn't taste as tasty as having the Smucker's jelly separate than the Peter Pan peanut butter, but it was cheaper, for her to buy. And then there was Goober strawberry, and I like strawberry better than grape. But I mean, everybody and their mother was eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And now you can't even go on a plane and even bring anything peanutty because somebody could be allergic. And these allergies are deadly. Remember, there was that girl who, after school, she was a teenager, hung out with a friend after school, grabbed a couple Chips Ahoy cookies, and it looked like it was the chewy Chips Ahoy red package. Well, they have a peanut butter Chips Ahoy that was just a little different shade of red. And she didn't pick up on the difference, ends up going into full-blown anaphylaxis and dies. So parents are scared. What happened to us? Why did we start becoming, I look at, being Monday morning quarterback with all this, and I'm looking and going, what are we doing to ourselves? And are we going to, accelerate our extinction? And I really do believe humans are going to become extinct with the way we're acting, with the way we're trying to take care of ourselves, with the way we're, now our attitudes towards childcare and multiplying. This is, interacting, having loved robots and being in love with our avatars instead of other people. I mean, we will eventually, with our overdosing and all that, we could very easily, make ourselves a population that isn't strong enough to withstand new superbugs and other, people are asking me for antibiotics left and right, and they have flu. And I'm like, but we don't do that. We use flu medicine. Like, I don't care. I feel better with an antibiotic. When our antibiotics don't work, we're in trouble. So these food allergies are killing our kids. And RFK Jr. wants to figure out why. One thing we've been doing with some success is introducing young babies to some of these foods. I know it's kind of scary for parents, but if you could do it in a controlled setting with an allergist there, et cetera, there's ways to ensure that you could have a fairly uniform, because you don't get allergic the first time you try it. It's the subsequent times. So you want to know if your body is going to react. And your anaphylaxis is your body reacting with natural immune cells, but overreacting to the point where you can't breathe. You can't, you vasoconstrict, you bronchoconstrict, because the body is trying to protect you from more of the allergen, but while it's protecting you, it's killing you. And it's a very, very scary time. Now, scientists think that, maybe we have a rise in peanut allergies because we're not exposing kids during early childhood. The issue with that, though, is even though we're having success introducing them, we didn't really give babies peanut butter in the olden days either. It's there's got to be more to it. And so RFK Jr. wants to challenge that and go, can we look a little further? Because it does help to do the early exposure, but is that the reason why we have all these food allergies? Where parents come into a restaurant and say, my kid can't eat this, and this. Why not? What's wrong with your child? What happened to your child? Is it that you didn't give him soy and ginger and celery and shellfish as a baby? Most babies don't get that anyway. So R.F. Kennedy Jr. says 5 of his children have allergies, one of whom has a severe peanut allergy that led to 22 emergency room visits by the age of 2. He says, my house was so filled with peanut butter, and I was eating peanut butter for 2 meals a day, and my wife was eating peanut butter when pregnant. So he said, to me, that's not a convincing hypothesis that this child wasn't introduced to it. So he thinks maybe it's our pesticides. Maybe it's aluminum and vaccines. And so they are going to conduct research into food allergies and its causes. Now, I know some doctors would say, but wait a second. Okay, what's this idea of aluminum and vaccines? Why would that cause you to be allergic to peanuts? Well, one thing we've noticed is you could have cross-reactivity where we could inadvertently prime your immune system and make it more hyper. And so if there's something that wakes up the sleeping giant, such as a heavy metal or toxin or something like that, that could then, make us more allergic or cause us to have autoimmune issues. Or so I think it should be looked at. Do I blame vaccines for all our food allergies? No. But the theory keeps coming up because when people ask, what are we doing different with our kids and babies that we didn't do in the 50s and the 40s and the 30s? Why do we have all these problems in the 90s, 2000s, 2010s? What's different? Well, a big major difference is kids are getting a lot more vaccines than they used to. Most childhood vaccines didn't come out until the 60s. And it was just a couple at the time. So it is worth looking at especially if we're looking at an immune system issue. Now, I am very pro-vaccine. I am very grateful for our vaccine protocol. I don't ever want to see polio come back. I want us to control measles. I want us to control tetanus. I mean, I had a family member die of tetanus. So I'm glad we have vaccines. But the truth of the matter is the number of vaccines kids get now is completely different than 50, 60 years ago. And if we're talking about an immune system reaction and an allergic reaction and an immune system priming, when are we really, really testing and priming our kids' immunity? Well, with these vaccines. So it is worth looking into. I know a lot of people are saying RFK Jr. is off his rocker, but no, I think it is something that should be looked into. He said those studies have never been done. We're going to do them now, and we will identify what's causing these allergies. Now, do I think vaccines are causing peanut allergies? I don't per se. But like I said, are the plethora of vaccines affecting a child's immunity and or immune reaction to an allergen? Now, for those of us with family members that do have food allergies, it's scary stuff. And aluminum is used in vaccines as an adjuvant. It helps boost the immune response to the vaccine. Sometimes the component that we're giving, the live attenuated virus or the viral particles or the bacterial particles that are supposed to be non-infectious, sometimes that's just not enough to mount an immune system. So they use these adjuvants to kind of wake up the immune system. In fact, some of the flu vaccines for seniors have adjuvants to kind of wake things up. And so, is it that aluminum, which is very, very prevalent in plant, soil, water, according to USA Today, it's in seasonings, flours, cereals, beer, wine, dairy products, baby formulas, honey, food and drinks. Even though aluminum in vaccines is very, very tiny, are we looking at aluminum overload? Are we looking at fluoride overload? Somebody has to look at this. And I know people want to be anti-RFK Jr., but listen, in science, this is exactly what we're supposed to do. Now, he's not a doctor, but scientists and doctors always have to go, look, guys, let's just make sure we're not doing something wrong. And then let's provide guidance to people. If there's been some studies showing acetaminophen can cause neurodevelopmental disorders in kids, and we've talked about that on the show, over the last few years, that there have been some studies. Let's talk to pregnant patients about it so they don't overuse Tylenol. And they could talk to their medical provider and keep an eye on things. Why is autism on the rise? Is it because of all the aluminum exposure? What does this aluminum do? We take for granted all the plastic. I still drink water out of a plastic bottle. I buy tons of plastic bottles. They're on sale. It's because I don't have time to wash out my bottle at home. And, all this plastic exposure, is that doing something to us? So somebody should look at it. 1-877-DOC-DALY.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medi-Share works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Did you know that more than half our household energy costs go to heating and cooling? Energy efficiency isn't just good for the environment. It means lower utility bills, too. One way to reduce your energy waste is a home energy assessment. Your utility company can help, or you can learn how to do it yourself at EnergySavers.gov. That's EnergySavers.gov. You'll learn to look for air leaks around windows and doors, check ducts for holes, and improve your insulation. Another time to cut energy costs is when you shop for a new appliance. Look for the Energy Star logo and read the Energy Guide label. And there are day-to-day things you can do. Lower your thermostat in winter and raise it in the summer. Close fireplace dampers when they're not in use. And keep air filters clean. For more tips on saving money by reducing your energy waste, check out ftc.gov/green. A tip from the Federal Trade Commission, the nation's consumer protection agency.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free.
That's right, free. The smartest way to hire. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
All across America, talk radio and the voices of freedom.
Don't stop talking, don't stop sharing, don't stop laughing, don't stop caring. As long as you've got a voice, don't ever stop.
The phones
Don't ever stop.
As you've got truth, don't ever stop.
Amen. Preach it.
As long as you've got love.
What's on your mind?
Preach it.
Healthcare, warrant and release, don't ever stop.
Abortion, IVF, NATO, nuclear weapons, Ukraine war, China, mullahs in Iran, North Korea, communication,
Don't ever stop.
alternative, sustainable, conspiracy theories.
Don't ever stop.
What do you think?
Woo, we are back on the Dr. Daliah Show, 1-877-Dr. Dolly, 1-877-DOCDALI. That was a clip from Gun Hills Road musical anthem celebrating talk radio, Don't Stop Talking. And one of the voices you're hearing in is my favorite, best buddy ever, Michael Harrison, CEO of Talkers, publisher, founder, multi-format radio broadcasting innovator, industry trade journalist, and radio icon. Michael, thank you so much for coming back on the show.
How do I even stand after that? Well, you're fabulous. Thank you, Dr. Dolly. It's great to be with you again.
You know, Michael, this is, we talk about all the things that went wrong over the last few years or decades, and we always talk about the negative, and there's a huge positive. We have a huge win, and I credit you and all your efforts with that, but talk radio and us having a voice, we're still here, we're still standing, and we're not stopping talking. Talk to us about, what some of the accomplishments that what we should be revering and celebrating right now.
Well, talk radio and radio in general, and all media that comes out of the 20th century is having its problems adjusting to the brave new world that we live in. So many things are changing. So from the perspective of being in the industry of talk radio, it feels that, a lot of people don't think we're going to last. A lot of people feel that they don't agree with what we say, as if we say only one thing. We say a lot of things. And in some cases, they're just jealous. Talk radio has proven itself to be year after year after year for at least the modern era, which we track back to 1987 with the repeal of the Fairness Doctrine. We're talking 4 decades of domination in a business known for change. Can you imagine what radio would be like today if there were no talk radio, if it was only music radio? With all respect to our music brothers and sisters, I don't think they've done that great a job. But talk radio, not only is it the dominant format, but it's also one of the pillars upon which this democracy is built. Free speech,
Amen.
Free expression, and information. So, I think talk radio has a lot of reason to be optimistic. And Gun Hill Road, the band that I happen to be blessed to be a member of, especially at this point in a rather long career, this group has made some amazing music and music videos that have been embraced by talk radio because we deal with issues of interest. And we have now about 250,000 downloads around the world on our songs, basically brought to people's attention by talk radio, not music radio. So it's pretty cool.
Very cool, very cool. And like the topics bipartisanly. We're Americans, we're human. It isn't just about preaching one thing. The reason why talk radio exists and the reason why there's such a demand for it is because it allows everybody to have a voice, even non-radio broadcasters who could call in. And people want to have a voice. They want to be heard. And it's probably one of the last formats where a non-media, non-politician, person listening can actually get their voice out there and be heard. It should never go away. And as I said, thank God for you and all the broadcasters out there.
In real time as well. I mean, it's spontaneous. It's not totally packaged. I mean, there are pre-produced programs on talk radio, and they're valuable too. But the basic standard idea of talk radio, a live person in a radio station, on the air, taking calls, having regular people talking about issues, arguing, accusing, investigating. It's what the First Amendment is all
thinking.
about.
Exactly.
Critical thinking is key.
Exactly.
At the end of the song, we have all those different voices, so it underscores what you talked about, that talk radio is more than just celebrity broadcasters and superstar guests. Everybody is a star on talk radio, and there's a scene of hundreds of cars in a traffic jam, honking and talking.
Yes.
And you played a little bit of it in the audio. I do hope people check out the video because the video is a lot of fun. I'll give a little plug for it. TalkRadioForever.com. If people go to TalkRadioForever.com, they'll get to see some of the action. Now, you're in the video. Almost 100 different people. Yeah, almost 100 people on radio in America are in the video, and it's less than 4 minutes, so it's bing, bang, boom.
And it's easy to dance to. It's easy to dance to. I've even caught myself singing, Don't Stop Talking. It's really easy to kind of, we're speaking to Michael Harrison of Gun Hill Road, as well as CEO and publisher of Talkers Magazine and Radio Icon. We always focus on the negatives, and, we hear that, like what happened with, shall we say, electric vehicles, them trying to say, well, you can't have AM radio on electric vehicles because it interferes. Or we're going to have people buy up stations, and then we're going to just change formats I've been hearing this for years. I've been in radio for 15 years. My birthday in radio is going to be next month. And I've been coming to Talkers all that time, I think the last 15 years, and we're still standing. Mm-hmm. What do you recommend listeners should do to keep us still on the air and help support what we're doing?
First of all, keep on listening. Participate by sending feedback. You don't have to call, but if you can, that makes it better. Support the advertisers and let them know that you heard it on talk radio. That's something that that go very far. Write a letter to your congressman that you do not want to see the automobile industry drop AM out of dashboards, at least not yet. Maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now, but not right now. And I think, and tell people, word of mouth. If you have a favorite host or you heard something good on the radio, tell your friends and neighbors about it. They may not be in that orb, and they'll appreciate it. In other words, actively support the medium. But I think using the sponsors and letting sponsors know that you heard it on the radio is a very good way to support a medium that you think is important. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Even if you don't buy the product, say, look, I loved your ad. I always tell people that, I go, their ad, I have a marketing background and a PR background. And so commending them on things that work. And I go, it's playing during drive time. I think that's fantastic. Giving them feedback, because one thing a host doesn't like, a wife doesn't like, is feeling they're not heard. And so, let them know they're heard. In the final minute, I also want to commend you on your graphics. This video is fantastic. The graphic, not only are the lyrics, but the graphics and imagery you have here so telling. We could all relate to it. I appreciate that in your video as well.
Our video producer is Matthew B. Harrison. He happens to be related to me.
Love him.
He's a lawyer.
Love him.
He's the vice president and associate publisher of Talkers. Steve Goldrich, Brian Coonan, Paul Reich are my co-members of the group. I want to do a shout out to them because they're incredibly talented. And I want to congratulate you, Dahlia, on the great work that you're doing in mixing medical information with current events. I would say that this latest murder story that's unfolding with Luigi Mangione is right up your alley.
It is. Oh, it is. We cover it a lot, and it's a shame. But Michael, always glad that you're there. Don't stop talking. I won't stop talking. And have a wonderful Hanukkah, Christmas, and a great New Year.
Thank you, Dahlia.
Can't wait to have you back. All right, guys, don't go away. 1-877-DOC-DALI, 1-877-DOC-DALI.
Don't stop talking, don't stop sharing, don't stop laughing, don't stop caring. As long as you've got truth, don't ever stop.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by right now. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-910-7500. That's 800-910-7500. Call now to find out how much your case could be worth.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
diesel fuel cetane levels.
The cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Self-reliance. It's not a phrase we hear much in our culture these days. It might conjure up images of pioneers, the West, rifles, strapping men, and strong women. But what does it mean for us in today's world? The New American Magazine has just released its latest collector's edition, Self-Reliance, Foundation of Freedom. In it, the New American authors outline the necessity of self-reliance for a free people, tips for self-reliant living, and the importance of not giving up hope. This unique edition includes articles on the self-sufficiency of the founders, preparing for a worst-case scenario, firearms, financial self-reliance, the importance of community, and many other topics by expert writers. Now, for a limited time, The New American is offering a bundle of 3 collector's editions: Self-Reliance, The Great Reset, and Trump World for just $19.95. Available at shopjbs.org. Visit shopjbs.org today.
Crime across the country is at an all-time high. It feels like even a family road trip is taking a risk. We don't want the feeling of being unprotected and vulnerable. We found GetCCL.com. GetCCL.com gave us the help we needed to apply for a legal concealed carry permit that's recognized in over half of the country. GetCCL.com simplifies the process to apply, and it's all online. We used their free qualification process to answer a few questions and applied for our permit right from home. Thanks to reciprocity laws between states, when you're issued a New Hampshire concealed carry permit, you can legally carry in any state that recognizes your New Hampshire permit. It only takes minutes to apply, so don't wait. Exercise your rights today. Ensure you're protecting your family at home and in other states. Have peace of mind. Apply today. Go to GetCCL.com. That's GetCCL.com. Go to GetCCL.com. Exercise your rights today. Go to GetCCL.com.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Lisa Wolf here to tell you about our newest website for old-time radio lovers. It's 100radioshows.com. At this site, there are 5 old-time radio shows waiting for you to download free as our gift to you. And be sure to browse the additional 700 old-time radio shows available to you for 70% off by using the promo code RADIO at checkout. This is a limited-time offer, so log on to 100radioshows.com. That's 100radioshows.com.
Did you know that more than half our household energy costs go to heating and cooling? Energy efficiency isn't just good for the environment. It means lower utility bills, too. One way to reduce your energy waste is a home energy assessment. Your utility company can help, or you can learn how to do it yourself at EnergySavers.gov. That's EnergySavers.gov. You'll learn to look for air leaks around windows and doors, check ducts for holes, and improve your insulation. Another time to cut energy costs is when you shop for a new appliance. Look for the Energy Star logo and read the Energy Guide label. And there are day-to-day things you can do. Lower your thermostat in winter and raise it in the summer. Close fireplace dampers when they're not in use. And keep air filters clean. For more tips on saving money by reducing your energy waste, check out ftc.gov/green. A tip from the Federal Trade Commission, the nation's consumer protection agency.
All right. We are back on the Dr. Daliah Show. Thank you all for tuning in. 1-877-Dr. Dali, 1-877-DOCDALI. So being in the holiday season, this goes on a good couple weeks, which I love. I want to kind of squeeze as much out of it as possible. But from a medical standpoint, a lot of you are going to be out of luck as it pertains to getting in with your doctor, getting your refills, getting your illness addressed. And because medicine has changed so much since COVID, many of you don't see a doctor regularly or a medical provider. Many of you don't even have a medical provider. And you're using telemedicine exclusively. And I'm telling you right now, many telemedicine companies will be working. I'm going to be working on Christmas, but we're limited with what we could do or fix. And if we think you have something serious, you're going to have to go to an urgent care or ER. And I know there's not a lot of time before, the poop hits the fan as it pertains to travel and it pertains to you being off for the holidays. But if there is anything you think you need now, better late than never. If you're about to travel, I want to make sure you have plenty of your blood pressure medicine, your diabetes medicine, medicine for discomfort, medicine for your migraines, medicine for coughs and colds. I am concerned about shortages. I understand Amazon is going through a strike right now. For those of you that get all your things on Amazon, I'm looking at delivery times right now not being till next year. Okay, for those of you who thought you'd be able to get something, in time, that's if you think you're going to be out of something, you might want to consider making sure you have, don't be hoarding, but making sure you have what you need. What we're seeing right now, if you haven't gotten it yet, there's a bad stomach bug. Not sure if it's norovirus, flu-related, COVID-related, or if it has to do with food poisoning. But sadly, vomiting, diarrhea, fever, chills, abdominal cramps, something we're seeing a lot of right now. So for those of you who like your ginger ale, right, or like your soda water or your saltine crackers, something to think about. You might want to have ready. Understand that if you cannot keep your fluids in, you're going to have to go to an urgent care or ER. If you are going to travel, know where, make sure you are aware of where you would go. So a big thing that I get is somebody's out of town and they'll call the telemedicine company and say, okay, I'm sick. What do I do? And I go, well, based on what you told me, you probably have to go to an ER or an urgent care. Their next question is where? And I'm like, well, I don't live in your area and I'm not in your area. So sadly, I need you to look online. And then the third question is, will my insurance cover it? What you need to do today, if you have insurance, even if it's Obamacare insurance, okay, find out what you do. By the way, how many of you even know what urgent care or ER or lab you could go to with your current insurance? Most of you haven't used it all year. Why? Because the deductible was too high. You have it, but you haven't used it. You better know. Because the last thing you want to do is lose precious time or lose money going to an out-of-network provider. And then if you do have to go out of state, you need to find out where you can go. Know where the nearest hospital is, know where the nearest urgent care is, and be prepared. Another thing we're seeing a lot of is COVID is spiking again. We're also seeing a lot of flu and pneumonia. There's been a lot of misdiagnosing over the phone I'm seeing. And so unfortunately, somebody will be sick around you. And you'll ask, what's going on? And they'll be like, I don't know, just strep. So you're thinking to yourself, that person went in, was swabbed, is a confirmed streptococcus case. Now you get a sore throat. So you're like, well, it must be strep. If somebody is telling you they're sick, ask if whatever they have is confirmed. We had one case where somebody said, yeah, I got the flu from my family. So I'm sick with the flu. Couldn't breathe, coughing, chest pain. And I'm like, was it influenza A, influenza B? What was it? Did they swab? Oh, no. They were diagnosed over the phone as flu. And I go, you might not have flu. This could be pneumonia. And it ended up being pneumonia. So I'm not saying this because I'm like, ooh, Dr. Dahlia is such a good doctor. Well, yeah, I am. Thank you. But you just because somebody says, well, over the phone, they said, it was this, that's kind of, don't be using that as your diagnosis. Remember I told you there was this woman that came in to my office years ago when I had my office where she's like, I need a refill on my asthma. It was, I think, holiday time. She's like, I need my asthma inhaler refill. And I'm like, okay, tell me what's going on. Well, I have asthma. I go, use a different term. Well, I have difficulty breathing. And her asthma test looked really good. She didn't have any sign of asthma. So I'm like, let's look at this shortness of breath. And it turned out after I did an EKG and a chest x-ray and her heart looked a little funny, I sent her to a heart doctor and the heart doctor called me saying, what made you decide to send a 26-year-old woman to me? And I go, I'm sorry. She said she had shortness of breath and asthma. And I don't think she had asthma. He goes, you were right. She had a tumor on her heart. She had an atrial myxoma. How did you find that? I go, because she called it asthma and I didn't believe her. Not her fault. It's just some other doctor half-assed called it asthma at an urgent care. We need to do our own work. And if you have gotten a diagnosis that hasn't been officially diagnosed, make sure somebody officially diagnoses it. There was one case where, and I'm sure this has been multiple cases, where somebody was told that their severe toe pain was gout. Now, gout is where you have uric acid crystals that become supersaturated and then crystallize. Well, the uric acid turns into crystals, and it causes a very, very painful joint. Well, to diagnose gout, how we used to do it is we would aspirate the joint, confirm there were crystals. They don't do that anymore to save money. They're like, if you got a joint that hurts and it's flamed, and, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's a duck. Yet, this patient didn't have gout. Urgent care after urgent care called it gout, and then he would tell telemedicine people and doctors, yeah, it's gout. So I just need more. He had an infection in the bone. Lost his toe. Now, I don't want to worry you if you guys have gout, but was it confirmed? If you have repeated toe pain or it's not going away, gout eventually goes away. Make sure, I know a lot of you don't have medical providers, and I don't want to worry you, but just, your asthma might not be asthma. Your acid reflux might not be acid reflux. How many people have had pancreatitis or esophageal cancer or pancreatic cancer, but they were told it was reflux all these years? You could have an ulcer. So my recommendation to you is, if you're about to go on vacation, make sure you have everything you need. Separate them. I would have all your medications with your carry-on, so it's not stuck in a suitcase. A suitcase that'll get lost, because who knows what's going to happen with travel, especially coming back. But make sure, at least with the start of the new year, if you can't get in with your medical provider now, any question you have gets answered. If you think your heartburn is not heartburn, but a heart attack or heart issue, bring that up. Get your heart checked out. The Christmas coronary is sadly a real thing where we see heart attacks come up and happen a lot more frequently this time of year. And just don't take anything for granted. Double check, triple check, quadruple check, and make sure you're followed up on. Somebody with gout should not be saying, see ya in a year. Should be followed up on. 1-877-DOC-DOLLY. Don't go away.
Did you know that healthy arteries make a gas? Yes, actually 3 known gases. Hi, I'm Dr. Mitch, and nitric oxide is a gas that's readily made all day long to keep our arteries open by relaxing the blood vessel walls. By doing this, our circulation is increased, bringing blood, oxygen, and nutrients to every part of your body. Both age and poor diet can lead to a loss of this precious gas, and in turn, blood pressure can go up, energy can go down, and you can get tingling in your hands and feet. Well, our product, Ultimate Nitric Oxide, can easily help fix this lack of nitric oxide. Go to TotalWellness.com. That's TotalWellness.com, where we are helping you to look good, feel good, and enjoy total wellness.